No, it's not. We're one of the very, very fortunate companies that's operating, notwithstanding some of the headwinds in the global economy. Our market is in really strong shape. So in 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, the market grew by about 3%. Last year, it grew by about 19%. In FY22, we saw about a 22% growth. And that's off the back of the adoption of new technologies, particularly in the automotive area, and also for a number of the renewable applications, particularly wind energy. And so these are not trends that we see stopping anytime soon. So certainly this is not as good as it gets. And our growth plan is actually, we've just announced a number of initiatives which see us growing faster and growing sooner than our previous announced growth plan.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because you've announced the significant investment when it does come to Australia at the same time. Do you think that Australia eventually, and obviously it's going to be backed by the significant investment you're putting in, but just more broadly, that Australia can be a hub for the processing of rare earths moving forward?
So I not long ago made a speech at what we have a Diggers and Dealers Conference in Kalgoorlie, which is the premier mining conference in Western Australia. And I said in the years gone past, it used to be said that Australia rode on the sheep's back, but today it really stands on the diggers' shoulders. And indeed, it's the mineral endowment that we have in Australia which underpins our ability to really develop the industry as much or as little as we choose to do. So certainly right at the start, if you don't have the minerals, the downstream processing is interesting, but not enough. So having the feedstock is the most important. At Mount Weld, we have what's recognised as the premier rare earths deposit in the world, and our ability to continue to explore and develop that ore body is really at the heart of our growth. We announced a $500 million upgrade to...
Amanda, you were saying that you believe that some of the tailwind trends, you don't see them stopping anytime soon. One of those tailwind trends has been higher prices, with rare earth prices jumping about 70 to 80% from the same period last year. So what are your predictions for prices for the next 12 months?
We actually never predict price, because the one thing that we can be certain about is that we will be wrong. However, what we would say is that there was a really big, spike in prices towards the end of last year. We think that the prices will stay high, but there's been a little bit of mitigation on those prices in the past couple of months. But we see a lot more stability in the pricing than we ever have in the time that I've been operating in the rare earths market over the past decade.